Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today's video is going to be a little different. It's not my regular vlog. It's a sit down video because I have been getting a lot of requests on people asking me how did I make my university decision. So I decided, okay, I'll just sit down and make a video to show how I made my decision to pick my university. Now I'm going to make this video in three different aspects. First is going to be your circumstances. The second is going to be based on ranking, and the third is going to be based on location, which you guys should be considering while making your university decision. Coming to the first aspect, which anyone should focus on when they are picking a university on any regard. So when I made my initial decision for university, I didn't even know which region I wanted to go to. I didn't even think UK was going to be the place where I'd end up. I initially went with the idea of Canada, and then I researched on the rankings of the university. Then I couldn't make up my mind, so I decided, okay, why not just go for a free counseling, because there are a lot of counselors. IDP is the institute which is taking IELTS in India. Before it was British Council. So I just decided, okay, IDP has its free counseling, I'll just go visit them. And they gave me advice. I spoke to my Canadian counselor. Then while there, I also spoke to the Australian counselor and the UK counselor. So then I sort of realized, okay, maybe Canada is not the place I want to go personally, because the university rankings worldwide, UK ranked better both in world ranking and in the ranking for the courses which I wanted. So I decided, okay, I'll just shift to UK. And the process for UK is comparatively a little faster than in Canada at the time when I was applying. So I decided, okay, why not just go to UK? It's simpler and it is good for ranking as well. So that is how I decided on where I'm going. So that is one thing I'd recommend, is get a free counseling session. You will not lose anything. And a lot of these counselors do not take any money from you, because they are going to be funded by either of the governments. If they send a student to Canada, they get commission from the Canadian government, from UK, then UK government, I think, and Australia, then the Australian government. So they stand to make money on any of the universities you go to. It doesn't matter. So there's not one particular university that try to push you in. So free counseling is the way to go, in my opinion, because it worked for me and 4 other friends of mine who went to different countries as well. So that is why I even chose to go to the counselor in the first place. Now that is the first thing which you have to consider. Now your circumstances. If you are a person who doesn't have any budget limit, then I'd say, if you're going to the UK, then I'd say go with the top universities. So go to the top 20 universities in the Russell Group. It's easily a hands down, no questions asked decision. You can just go ahead with it. Just look for the course which you are looking for. Look for the ranking of the course in those universities. If any of those universities have your course and it is high ranked, then just go with it. Do not even have a second opinion, because the top 20 are top 20 for a reason. Now if you have budget constraints, then you cannot go with the top 20, because then it comes down to the question of, why do you need the ranking? Because ranking will not give you a high salary in the UK. If your goal is to get a ranking because you want to study ahead afterwards, then maybe you can decide that. But if you just want to settle down in any country, it could be Australia, Canada or UK, then if ranking is not going to give you the extra boost, then I don't think you should consider ranking till time where it is to the top 40 universities. Do not go anywhere below the top 40 universities in any country, because that would be bad. But I made my decision based on ranking only because I decided that I might consider something in the future over here. So that is why I went with top 40, because I did not see the need to spend that much money, because it was not giving any such career boost. So that is why I didn't decide based on top 20, but top 40 is anything. You have to keep that as the limit and then go with the top 40 for any country. It could be Australia, it could be Canada as well. That is what I was advised even by my counselor. So counseling is the way to go again. Now if you have budget constraints, then automatically you can create an elimination process, because once you set a budget, anything which is crossing a budget, just remove it and then go with the next step, which is going to be rankings. So you have to see your course which you're looking for, and then you have to decide what are the universities which are ranking highest for your course. And let's say the universities which have a high budget, you can just remove them from the list, and then you can make your decision. Now I had a friend of mine who was studying engineering, and then he wanted an MS in industrial engineering or something like that, and he decided that, okay, he wouldn't go with the top 20 because the ranking for his course, there was another university which was in the top 40, but for his course it was ranked second in the whole of UK, and it was still not in the top 20 list of the top UK universities, which is the Russell Group over here. It was not in that list, but it was still ranked number 2 for all UK in his course. So that was an easy decision he could take. He just went with that So that is another way you can make your decision. It doesn't have to be with the university ranking, it has to be with course ranking. So if your course with that university is ranked very high, then go with that. So let's say you choose an international business degree, check which universities have the best or which universities are ranked highest for international business degrees, and then accordingly make your decision. So that is another way to go. Now the third and the most final and important decision, again it is related or linked to your budget, but if you want to come to a place, let's say for example UK, then I had the option of choosing two universities, and one was in central London and one was in Cambridge. Now both these universities were ranked around the same for my particular course, so I made the decision based on region in that regard, because London is very expensive, and as a student you may not be able to make that much money to sustain yourself in London. So that is why I felt, okay, Cambridge is a better opportunity, and I am very glad I made that decision, because after coming to Cambridge I realized the amount of competition which you have is very less compared to that of what it would be in London. So that is another way you can make your decision, which is based on region. So if your university rankings are matching, then pick region to filter the universities, because then you eliminate competition, you eliminate a lot of, you in fact create yourself some room to more opportunities, and also you may be able to sustain yourself better if you are in a place which is a little cheaper and easier when it comes to finding accommodations and everything. In London I've heard it is harder with the accommodations, especially with the prices going all high. So as long as your rankings are pretty much similar, go with the region as the filter. Alright, so these are the three things which I'd say that you would have to consider when you're making your university decisions. And finally, this is my personal advice, which is the fourth tip, is the fact that I would recommend you go with counselors, because even if you don't choose to go through with them for the entirety of it, they are free, they do not charge you anything. They will help you in understanding what are the advantages of picking a certain university and what isn't. And also all these counselors usually have their own meetups with the universities. So I remember I went through IDP, and IDP had their own meetup in Taj, and they had like around 40-50 universities show up, and I went and spoke to each and every university representatives, and then I realized what is it that I am looking for in a university, and that is how I made my decision. So I would still recommend go through a counselor, go to the meetups which they have with the universities, which will easily help you narrow down on what you're looking for and why you are looking for a university in that region or that country as well. And do not limit yourself to one country. I'm telling you this again and again, because I felt Australia has a better opportunity than UK if you are someone who is looking to settle abroad, because UK at the moment is suffering. It is not a problem if you are someone who is very driven like me. I'm not really worried. Wherever I end up, I will still make sure that my future is bright. So that doesn't really matter. But if you are someone who wants it to be a little easy and like hell-bent on settling abroad, then I'd say consider Australia also. It's a really good opportunity. I don't think a lot of people talk about how good Australia is in that regard. But yeah, you can consider that. It's a little more expensive than UK, but it has way more opportunity for you to stay back. So that is one thing you can consider. So that is it for the video. That was my opinion. If you want to take it, you can, but you can take it with a grain of salt, because I am not a counselor. I'm just giving my opinion and how I made my decision. So it's up to you how you want to go ahead with this. So anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any more requests in the future, you can always let me know, because I will make these videos only on request. It's a vlog channel. I do not want to make this about UK specifically, and I do not want to make my channel tied down to one particular topic as well. So I'm going to vlog, but if you have any requests, then I will put these kind of videos on the weekdays, but my vlogs will always be scheduled for the weekend. So anyway, if you watched my video and if you liked it, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.